What's up with the Vet Fam? On this week's episode, we are talking about favoritism, nepotism, the golden tech syndrome, and how that transpires amongst the team. Amber and I can speak on, I'm pretty sure all boxes can be checked with us in some way, shape, or form in our jobs, both now and the past. I've been the golden tech, I've been the favorite tech. The nepotism side is now my sister-in-law and myself both work at the same place. She is very high up in the food chain. I'm not. But people know that I've been there long enough that people have actually put two and two together because of the last names or seen us together and things like that. And Amber, I know that you have worked with your mother in the past, both under her and whatnot, and you can see her face is already out loud.
Oh yeah, searching for the be nice.
Like, we'll just get the nepotism out of the way. It's a different line to traverse when you work with a family member, in a sense of, like, for myself, I feel like I have to mind my P's and Q's more because she is so higher ranked than me. To put in perspective, I am like a receptionist level. She is like the second in command level, where we're at. And so, like, any other place, I would tell certain people to go fly a kite in a lightning storm, but use more colorful languages. But I feel like I can't because, it could ricochet on her, and I don't want that. So I let things slide more than I would have if we worked in two different places.
I get that.
Yeah, because, word travels very quickly, regardless of where you're at.
It does. Yeah. And I went through that, like, working under my mom when she was a lead tech, and she would, I would go into these clinics with her when I was younger. And I was still a mindset. You're not my mom when we're at work, bro. I'm not going to call you mom. You're not going to talk to me like you're my mom. You're not going to tell me what to do unless you were in a position to do so. We're not family, bro. And there's been situations, you know what I mean, that I think probably would not have been as severe had that not been my mom. You know what I mean? So... Yeah, and then there's times when you've got to, when everything's going the way it's supposed to, you've got to mind your P's and Q's, especially when it's somebody in your family that you're that close to that's in a position of authority. You know what I mean? Like, I can't go in and be my normal goofball, sarcastic, very inappropriate self that my behavior attaches to somebody that I'm related to, that I'm family with. You know what I mean? So it's a fine line.
Yeah. It really is. And I think this is different for me than it was for you when you worked with your mom. We don't talk about work at home unless, like, we want the tea on something. You know what I mean? Like, if we want, like, a little gossipy tea, we'll be like, hey, did you hear anything about this? Oh yeah, I heard it. You know what I mean? Like, gossiping. But when it comes to stuff happening and, like, we're both angry about a certain scenario, we don't talk about it at home because home is home.
Yeah.
And work is work. Like, and we never even discussed having that line. We just knew we needed that line to have, like, that sister relationship and then the working relationship to, like, not, in a sense. I mean, then there's times where it's crossed where, like, I've been super upset at work and she's come and talked to me and I'm, like, crying in a corner at the hospital, but, like, she's there for me still as my sister. But, like, when it's stuff from work that's happening, rarely does it cross paths at home.
Exactly. And mine was the complete opposite. Like, when I was young. So let's talk about what happened today. I don't want to.
Exactly.
Or you talk me through a disease process and what questions could you have asked in this room, and what thought process should have had going into the room talking to the client, and these questions that you should have asked. And it's just, I don't know. And two, I don't like you said, like, crying in a corner or whatever would be the only time that she would come, and comfort you and be your family, your sister-in-law or whatever. But I do remember this, I was hardcore, you're not my mom when we're at work. And this dog, this Boston Terrier, dude, lit my ass up one day. Didn't even give me a warning. Just grabbed a hold of my arm and shook it. And without provocation. And I just, like, I was bleeding. I was like, Mom. Girl, I was like 22 years old. Like, instant baby, dude. Bite down, instant baby, just illuminated. And my mom was cleaning my wounds and wrapping my arm.
It hurt so bad.
But never expected any kind of preferential treatment because my mom was my lead. And in fact,
Correct.
she was the hardest on me. I think because I was her kid and she expected more out of me, but I never expected any kind of leeway because that was my mom. You know what I mean?
See, I've applied for jobs to get outside of my role that would have been like, a little bit of bump in pay, but like I could have done that job, right? They didn't hire me because I was family. Like they didn't want like an inside source. You know what I mean? And so like that's what I had to fight the first year with my unit, and they learned pretty quickly that like, I wasn't a narc, so to speak. Like I wasn't the mole or the spy or anything like that. They learned pretty quickly that like, Joyce is there at work. I got your back. At home, I won't say, you know what I mean? Like there's not that much unless they specifically ask, "Hey, can you ask about this?" Then sure. But yeah, like it's actually hindered me getting advancement
I can see that.
with where I'm at because they're like, we don't want that. And like they don't know me
Yeah.
from Rice of Rice, they don't know where my unit knows me. And the people that are close to us in different units also know me and know that I wouldn't cross that line. But like you can't, and I could be like, yeah, she is my sister-in-law, but like it doesn't do X, Y, and Z, but they're like, sure, we're gonna go with that one.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think too, like, I'm not necessarily going to say like nepotism that you see a lot of in veterinary medicine, but you see a lot of family working together. Like when we were at the place that should not be named, like we had a mother and son, that worked for us. And I mean, the relationship in the workplace worked pretty well. I mean, it was a while before I knew they were even related. You got to be able to
Yeah.
keep those things separate, and again, not show that favoritism. And then I did an interview the other day for one of the other clinics that I help out, and when I seen the name, I recognized the girl because I had worked with her mom before, and they worked in clinics together like since she was a kid. You know what I mean? Like, and then how do you navigate that as somebody who's worked with a parent or a sibling or someone in your family for so long? How does that make you feel? How do you navigate those kinds of things? Do you have any experience with that, good, bad, or indifferent, that you'd be willing to share with us? So that's another topic of conversation I guess we could get a little bit deeper into, but it's crazy.
Yeah. And then in terms of like, we'll say, I think, the golden tech and the favorite tech go hand in hand. Like, each doctor has a tech that they gravitate towards that they can trust to get things done. And, I had that with several doctors that I've worked with. And I've had it to the point where, and it comes with also a level of respect and I would say for the most part, when you're that golden tech, you're the golden tech for a reason, right? You're not just the go-to for one doctor. You're there because you have a skill set. And I say most times, there's times where it's not. You have the skill set and the knowledge, and then you have the backup of the doctor, right? Like it got to the point where I had worked so long with Martin where I went in with my own dog, with Allie dog, had HGE and pancreatitis and was going to get hospitalized. And so I got there, it was like 10, 11 o'clock at night. And the emergency clinic was like, okay, what do you want us to do? And I gave them orders for my own dog, and they followed it to a T, and they never once discussed it with Martin. And never sent her a text, didn't do X, Y, and Z because I had already gone in there and said, we're going to do this dose of Torb, this dose of Buprenex, this dose of fluids, we're going to do this bolus, do this, do this, do this. And I mean, mind you, I was right. Like I'm going to throw that one in there. And I'm like, yep, Martin will ultrasound her in the morning, blah, 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 and see how bad the pancreatitis is. But like, her hematocrit was like 65%. She couldn't keep anything down. Oh yeah, it was awful. She was in the hospital for days. I ended in a caveat because Amber knew Rascals, my Shih Tzu that I had. He ended up just staying in the cage with her because I couldn't handle him by himself. He had such severe separation anxiety in life that he knew that she was not there. And even though I was home, I just went, here, have a Rascals with you. And so like he's at the front of the cage and Allie's in this corner, like in the fetal position, dying. And Rascals like, hey guys, I'm with my sister. I tried it for one night and I couldn't even sleep because he was so worked up. But, and it was to that point where like I knew her drug doses and I knew what she would do for certain situations, that I could go to the emergency doctor. That's a place that shall not be named. I'm like, yeah, she's going to do X, Y, and Z for this pet. They put in the orders, off they go. Later on, they would circle back around and talk about the case with Martin. And she was like, yeah, but did you do X, Y, and Z? They're like, yeah, Joyce said so. And she went, good. So like it comes, and I, and honestly, and I've talked about you with you before, I had that, and I'm going to say that level of power, right? Because you had the respect, you had the knowledge, you could go up to another doctor and be like, we're going to do X, Y, and Z. You don't have that when you go to someplace new, whether it's a new clinic or a new atmosphere. You don't have that. And when you've had it for so long, it's a little shocking not to have.
No, it.
That was one of the biggest adjustments, is because like my skill set didn't matter where I was at. My knowledge base didn't matter where I was at. They didn't care that I had all this facts about animals and drug doses. And yeah, we talk about it, and like, yeah, we use this, but at this dose, and yeah, they use this at that dose for humans versus dogs and things like that. But like, that was it. They're like, okay, yeah, can you answer a phone? You know what I mean? Like, they didn't care. Like, that respect wasn't there yet.
Yeah, your golden tech status, they gave zero fucks about.
Zero fucks. None. It flew away.
And see too, like the golden tech status, like a lot of people give the golden techs flack for that, but dude, you earned it. You put in the work, you put in the time, you got the respect from the veterinarians to be able to do those things. You know what I mean? And people will, oh my God, that's the golden tech, that's the favorite. You goddamn right, because that's the one that gets up off her ass, shows up on time, stays late, goes above and beyond. You damn right she's got the golden tech status, and she's got that veterinarian in her back pocket because she knows that she can rely on.
And the funny thing is like, I still remember 2 techs that I had worked at in 2 different locations, both in Sarasota. One was like a little bit of an arch nemesis. She never liked me from the get-go. The other people I made friends with, but she was like the biggest bitch in the whole entire world. And one of the vets was giving me praise, and they were like, a bomb could be going off and Joyce is going to stay steady and blah, blah, blah. Like, nothing's going to phase her. And I'm like, oh, thank you. That's actually like really nice of you to say. Because again, we don't really work together that much yet. And she's like, well, she could go faster. And then another tech at another place, and that made me laugh because I was like, honey, come on. And then at the other place, another tech was like, oh yes, Joyce is perfect, she could do no wrong, and blah, 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 and went on a tirade about how she thought I wasn't perfect. And then I'm just laughing, and I'm like, I didn't care then, and I'm not going to, like, it's just like, those were like the 2 biggest things. And I'm like, if me being there, doing doctor's orders the correct way, and they felt threatened that I would take their throne of whatever it was, but I didn't want their throne. I had my own. You know what I mean? Like, I wasn't coming after them to get their title of anything. I was just there to get a paycheck at that point where they were. But again, I had the skill set and the knowledge to back it up, and they were just, that their feathers were ruffled. And like, it cracked me up because they were also ballsy enough to say it in front of me. And then there was me, and I'm just laughing in a corner. I'm like, could I go faster? Yeah, am I? No, because that's when mistakes happen. And also, I am nice. At the time, I was nice.
Medicine scorned you.
Correct.
No. And some people strive to be that golden tech. Like, that's their purpose. They have to be liked. They have to be loved. They have to be the one that the doctor calls on and relies on. Those ones that strive to be the golden tech are the ones that suck.
Yeah.
When they try, with the tryhards, the ones that it just doesn't come naturally to. You know what I mean? To do your job, to focus, to take care of your patients, to take care of your doctors, things like that. And that's the attitude and the kind of people that I hate working with. When they have to be the doctor's number one. And they have to.
Yeah. And I like to go up to them like, you got a little brown on your nose, honey. I'm like, could you get any closer? Because like, and then there's vets that love that like to have the tech, and that like the want to be there all the time.
Yeah.
That's not me.
Yeah, no, I get that. But I had a doctor one time with one of those tryhards trying to be the golden favorite tech or whatever. And the doctor came, and Joyce, you know me, I give no shits. You like me as a technician? I don't give a fuck. I'm here to get my job done and take care of my patients with the orders that I'm given from the doctor. Whichever doctor it is, if y'all don't agree on it, that's between y'all. Y'all figure that shit out. Let me know when it's time to start doing treatments, because you guys have let bygones be bygones and actually focused on the patient, not your egos. But this doctor came up to me. This girl was kissing her ass, dude. You'd have thought like she'd had just sensual bite marks in the bitch from the time that this came up to me. And she goes, Amber, I need you to do me a favor. And I said, yeah, what can I do for you? Like, it's my job. She goes, I need you to pull this bitch the fuck out of the crack of my ass right now because that's above my pay grade.
Above my pay grade.
So, yeah, it was bad, dude. It was so bad. It was disgusting.
I'm like, I just want to play Candy Crush in Corner until I'm needed.
Right. Exactly. But these people that have this incessant need to be needed, wanted, and liked, I don't drive well with that.
And we're not saying it's anything wrong to feel that way. We're just saying it's a different category than being the golden tech or the favorite tech, right?
Joy is saying that there's nothing wrong with it. I'm just going to be honest with you. That's how I feel today. I'm just going to be honest. Joy's saying it. But she's right. She's right. I
mean, to our 7 viewers, they'll get it. But like the whole point of being like the favorite tech or the golden tech, like they don't try.
No.
Their skills and their knowledge leads them to that. And the people, it speaks for itself. But also, I touched on this with Amber before we started recording. I had to learn, and still learning, that you also have to be an advocate of your own skill set and knowledge.
Yes. Yep.
Like, don't let someone I'm trying to find the words where it's like, don't let them diminish your worth of all of the work you put in, whether you're CBT, on the job training, it doesn't matter. You put in the work and you put in the knowledge base. Don't let someone underappreciate that or undervalue that.
Yeah. And 2, another thing like to go along with that is that knowledge base and that skill set. It makes you that much more of a golden technician to pass that along to your peers, not to hoard all of that, not to make yourself what is that? What is a good word for that? I don't know. To put yourself on a pedestal as the only one that can do this, that, or the other. Like, share the wealth of knowledge and information and training that you've had to make those around you better. For me, that's what makes you shine a lot brighter and makes you golden in my eyes. Like, from my perspective as a manager, for my golden technician, I don't care if you don't know shit. I can teach you. But it's how you treat others, how you train others, how you treat your clients and your patients, and your just overall being a good person. You know what I mean? Like, your skills and your knowledge base, like, we could teach you that. But like, being a team player just adds a little bit more to that. You know what I mean? I probably went off on a tangent.
Correct.
And related to what we were talking about, but like, that's how I feel.
I mean, I took the greatest pride, and this is going to sound stupid, when I taught a tech, and again, she at the time was on the job, how to truly handle a spicy cat, a cat that is out for blood, and I taught her how to handle them appropriately, not get bit or get others bit. And that alone is a huge skill set, but to teach that to someone who is very nervous, who was at the time very nervous, and then she ended up finding the joy of hanging out with the spicy kittens like I did, and I'm like, ooh, give it to me, they're angry. You know what I mean? Like, I liked it, and it was fun to deal with those angry cats, or teaching someone that knew nothing about chemotherapy and how to do it appropriately and safely. Yep. And Amber can attest to that, and like, it's stuff like that, or teaching someone how to handle endoscopy for the first time and put it together and clean it, or running a CT machine. It's just, like, that is where you should be able to shine if you are the quote unquote golden child favorite tech, is that you are already teaching your skill set to others that don't have it, that then could better where you're at and also better the flow. Because you know what, when there's multiple people that's able to do one job, you're going to get that in and out done. When something could easily take 2 hours, you just now knocked it down because you got 3 people that all are coming in knowing what to do, where to go. And that job just got knocked out in half.
Yep, we set them up and knock them down. We used to do that shit every day, Joyce. Every day. Every day. No, and it's good, like you're talking about, teaching, the girl with the cat. And I look back now, and the kids that I taught in the shelter, and one of them ended up actually going to vet school, and she's a veterinarian, like down the street from one of my hospitals. Like that for me, like, I could retire or just quit tomorrow and know that I did that. Like, I helped her get there. You know what I mean? Or, I've got one of my kids at Veg in Miami, and another one who works in the shelter department, where I started teaching her. Like, to see all of that, if I do nothing else in my career, I can walk away smiling looking at them.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
And that's the reason why I felt comfortable leaving the position that I was at, was because I had a team that could easily fill in my shoes.
You built a good team.
You know what I mean? Like, there was a team that, like, yeah, I'd be missed as a person and as a tech, blah, 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 blah. But the skill set and the knowledge was there for that department.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew I could just be like, okay, I can step away now and go take care of myself and get out of the situation and go away and blah, blah, blah. You know? And so.
And know that your doctor and the department that you built from the ground up would be taken care of because of what you instilled in you. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what makes it
so
good.
Like, and I was just going to say, I was like, that is what makes a golden tech or the favorite tech, like, have the honor of that title, in a sense, is they can have that to back up. If not, you're just, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, you're a good tech, you have the skill set, but if you know you have that side too, the teaching side, to make everybody as good as you or better than you.
You should leave everybody.
You know, that's the whole point.
Yep. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I don't get the stigma. I get it, but I don't get the stigma of these older veterinarians, not really like the OGs, you know what I mean? Not the vintage vet techs, but like the ones just a little bit younger than them, who have this stigma and are so against new incoming generations of veterinary technicians or doctors because they feel threatened.
No, I hate that.
I hate that. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. And be like, oh my God, I'm not teaching them how to do an IV catheter because then I won't get to do anymore. Bitch, I'm teaching them how to do every single one because I don't have to do them anymore.
I'm just as happy holding a dog as I am placing the catheter. There were times when, like, I had been out for 5 years, I'd be like, okay, I'm going to challenge myself by teaching my non-dominant hand how to do an IV catheter. So, because, like, you know, we get on, like, weird angles and you have to do your non-dominant. And so, like, I would do stuff like that, but, like, that, looking back, I was like, I was an arrogant little fucker then practicing this shit. Like, no. And so, like, but, you know, that's, you know, growth as a person.
Yep. Oh, I'm like, whatever you want to know, I'm going to teach you because that means I don't have to do it anymore.
Because, again, guys, I wanted to be in the corner playing Candy Crush and get paid for it.
She wants to play Candy Crush. I want to play fishing games, you know, but.
Work smarter, not harder. That's the goal.
Exactly. Or how do you, it's like I got one more cast. You know what I mean? Like,
there would be times, like, Martin one time looked at me, she's like, oh, how busy was it on the Saturday shift you picked up? I was like, well, I played Candy Crush for a couple hours, and she went, Choice Louise.
When you could, because she thought you could have been reading an article or some kind of journal or some shits to extend. And if you would have let her know that you were playing Candy Crush and have nothing else to do, she'd have been sure to send you that.
But yeah, and here's the thing, I'm a very honest person. I'm going to tell you. And she's like, and she would be like, well, why didn't you do this? Why didn't you do that? I was like, because I was on a 12-hour shift and I didn't want to yet. And she's like, well, Joyce, can you be productive a little bit? Yeah, I can. In an hour when treatments are due. I'm like, I'm holding a whiny dachshund and we're playing Candy Crush and we're crushing it. Like, we keep going to the next level. Let me get out of lives first.
You got a dachshund on a tree of life with like all kind of tubes hanging out of him, whining and crying, but you're holding him, playing Candy Crush, and he's content, bro. You're doing your job.
Doing my job. I did that a lot. I'm like, come here. I can't listen to the for 12 hours. Nope, come here. Come here. We're gonna go. We're gonna have a little therapy session, me and you.
Off. Chill music on, and we're gonna play a game.
Dim the lights.
I have straight fallen asleep in a cage with a patient like that before.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Crazy.
Yeah, especially in a run, and like they're like, oh, the human's with me, it's fine. And then it's like 3 o'clock in the morning, and you're like,
Barflow treatment's dinging.
It's the only thing that wakes you up is infusion from the pumps going off. Beep, beep, battery ended.
Yep. And the doctor's like, I don't even care. I don't even care because I didn't have to listen to that dog all night.
Yep. And they're like, don't get up. Don't get up. We'll get this pump on. I'm like, thank you.
Yeah, we start like, nope, I got it. But I don't know. And two, like you have your golden technicians and your favorite techs that walk through the door and everybody sighs relief. Oh my God, thank God you're here. Because they're that person that takes care of the staff, that takes care of the patients, that teaches, that jumps in to help, things like that. They're everybody's favorite, right? But then you have those favorite technicians who climb their way to the top very unprofessionally. You know what I mean? You see every shade of lipstick that they've worn throughout the year on the doctor's ass.
I thought you were going to use a different body part.
Been there, seen that. You know what I mean? I was trying to be a little professional, but
Professional.
yeah. No, I get it. I mean, you're in the workplace, you see somebody, you're a little bit attracted to them, they have a little more authority than you, so sucker fish. What are those things called? The things that clean the side of the tank?
Suckerfish.
And it's right there, on the ass, just all day. It's just disgusting, bro. I'm sorry, I'm getting...
She get her jacket off.
But yeah, like, that's not the kind of golden tech or favorite tech that I want to deal with or associate with. Those are the ones that piss me off. And I'm like, and their skill set, bro, let's talk about this. We'll have so-and-so do it. Dude, she can, or he can, or get x-rays, bro, you can turn the machine on. But they're the favorite because they are permanently attached to your ass all day.
Yeah. Like, if they needed a 3-view chest x-ray on a dog, I'm like, this dog will let me do it by myself.
Mm-hmm.
I can do it by myself. I don't have to pull anybody for this. Let's do it.
Yeah. And I get that because you got the skill set to be able to do it. You know what I mean? But like knowledge base to know you got a congestive heart failure patient coming in, not to put that motherfucker on his back. But the golden tech, the tech, whose lipstick's all over that doctor's ass, is coming in there, putting that patient at all kinds of risk because they don't know what they're doing. Doctor on them. Therefore, they bring them up to their level, and they get to do everything. They're the favorite. They're this. Man, get out of here. Miss me with that shit.
Or my favorite was when they worked together and then they get married and all of a sudden they're practice manager.
Yes.
Like I'm like, I see you.
I see you. You got something that's golden, but it ain't your skill set, bruh. It's not your
No hate in the game on that one.
Damn. Yeah. See. Yeah. Right there, that's nepotism at its finest, the doctor, the practice manager, or the lead technician, That's easy right there. And that's a horrible situation.
Oh, especially when there's trouble in paradise.
It's like watching a Netflix special.
Just need the popcorn.
Because the technician or that practice manager finds out that doctor also has another favorite technician that's reaching golden status. You know what I mean? It's
No, they're going for the silver. They're going for the side. They're going for number 2.
They're going for platinum status. I don't know, man. We could have a whole episode on relationships in vet med.
I mean, we did touch on it a little bit, but yeah.
Workplace, but like it snowballs, it
really does.
It does, especially
I think there are professions where a husband and wife duo work.
Yeah.
Vet med is a hard one for that to work long term.
Yeah. And see, I think a husband and wife DVM combo works better than a husband and wife practice manager or technician.
Agreed.
You know what I mean? I think that I work in a practice right now. They were husband and wife, like duo, like combo or whatever, but like co-parenting the practice. But I feel like that works a whole lot better than the other situation. You know what I mean? Like 2 DVMs, 2 business owners. I think that works well. But then you bring in the previous kennel tech to technician to doctor's wife, kind of just throws a wrench in everything.
It's a different dynamic than vet and vet. And I'm gonna put and I'm going to give what the vets go through to get in veterinary medicine as why. Because they have to be so regimented and so focused that they can separate. You know what I mean? Because like you have to know you're becoming a veterinarian when you're a kid, and because there's so many things you have to do in middle school and high school, and not besides the grades alone, because the grades aren't always what's going to get you there necessarily. Yes, you need to have good grades, but you need to do X, Y, and Z also to top the other person that's coming in. Like they have higher standards isn't the right word. It is, can't think of like.
They have a more intricate path to their goal.
Yeah, it's been focused since, before we even thought about becoming a vet tech, a year before we applied for it. You know what I mean?
Because we didn't know what the fuck else to do.
We just knew we didn't want to do X, Y, and Z. Like, we'll play with puppies and kitties. It's going to be so much fun.
Rabies injection, like a post-exposure. Yeah. Getting help in your pocket. Yeah, it's great. Can my dream come true?
Okay. fucking great, guys. Go be a vet tech. It's awesome. You're not gonna have any, issues after.
No, your mental health is going to be stable, your bank account booming, and your attitude,
Top tier.
yeah. Save your just make sure you work in a practice to where you get a 401k. That way, when you retire, you've got plenty of money to put towards therapy because you're going to need it.
You're gonna need it so bad.
You're going to need it all.
Stick with us, kids.
The Reiki, the sound baths. I
The
don't
weed.
know what else. The cold plunges, whatever it takes for you to get over this shit, you're gonna need it. So like stack your 401k. Matter of fact, increase your contribution.
Yeah, yeah. On that lovely note, guys, we will see you next week. We hope you all have a good week. And, like, comment, share, do all the things. If you haven't, subscribe. But yeah, until next week, guys, for more positive, positive stories.
I'll be more positive next week.
We'll try. No promises.
Have a wonderful week.
Bye.